Two countries, two economies, one rivalry that is reshaping the entire world. On one side, the United States, the world's largest economy for over a century. On the other, China, the fastest-growing economic power in modern history. And between them, a trade war that is changing the rules of global business as we know it. This is not just about tariffs and taxes. This is a battle for the future, for technology, for influence, for control of the global economy in the 21st century. And whether you realize it or not, you are already caught in the middle. For decades, the United States and China had a relationship that worked for both sides. America bought, China made. It was simple, efficient, and enormously profitable. Chinese factories produced goods at low cost. American consumers got cheap prices. Multinational companies got massive profits. The global economy boomed. For a long time, everyone seemed to win. But underneath that surface, tensions were building. The United States began to notice something. Its own factories were closing. Jobs were disappearing. Entire manufacturing cities were hollowing out. And a significant part of that shift was connected to the flood of cheap Chinese goods entering American markets. At the same time, American companies trying to do business in China faced a very different playing field. Restrictions, regulations, requirements to share their technology with Chinese partners. Many felt the system was tilted against them. Did you know that American companies operating in China were often required to hand over their most sensitive technology just to access the Chinese market? For many businesses, it felt less like a trade deal and more like a forced exchange. The frustration had been growing for years, but it came to a head when the United States decided it was time to act. Tariffs became the weapon of choice. A tariff is essentially a tax on imported goods. When the US placed tariffs on Chinese products, it made those goods more expensive for American buyers. The goal was to push companies and consumers toward American-made alternatives, and to pressure China into changing its trade practices. China did not sit quietly. It responded with its own tariffs on American goods, agricultural products, energy, technology. The retaliation was swift and strategic, and just like that, the world's two largest economies were in a full-scale trade war. Did you know that at the height of the trade war, tariffs covered hundreds of billions of dollars worth of goods traded between the two countries? Entire industries were caught in the crossfire, from American soybean farmers to Chinese electronics manufacturers. But this conflict goes much deeper than trade. At its core, the US-China rivalry is about technological dominance. Whoever leads in the technologies of tomorrow will hold enormous power. Artificial intelligence, semiconductors, quantum computing will hold enormous power over the global economy for generations. The United States has moved aggressively to block China's access to advanced semiconductor chips. These tiny components power everything: smartphones, military systems, data centers, electric vehicles. Without them, modern technology simply does not function. China has poured enormous resources into developing its own chip industry. It does not want to depend on foreign technology it could lose access to overnight. The race is on, and the stakes could not be higher. Did you know that the most advanced semiconductor chips in the world are produced by just one company, in Taiwan? That single fact explains why Taiwan sits at the center of global tension today. The consequences of this rivalry stretch far beyond the two countries themselves. Factories are moving to Vietnam, India, Mexico. Global supply chains, built over decades, are being dismantled and rebuilt in real time. Companies are being forced to pick sides in ways they never anticipated. For everyday people around the world, the impact is real. When tariffs raise the cost of components, those costs travel through the supply chain and land on the shelf in front of you. Electronics get more expensive. Cars cost more. Even basic household goods can feel the pressure. The global economy was built on the idea that trade between nations creates prosperity for everyone. The US-China trade war is testing that idea like never before. Did you know that several countries in Southeast Asia have actually benefited from the trade war? As companies shift production away from China, nations like Vietnam and India have seen significant surges in investment. Every action has unintended consequences, and in a connected world, Those consequences travel fast. The deeper question is not whether this trade war will end. It is what kind of world emerges from it. Will the global economy split into two separate systems, one aligned with the United States, one aligned with China? Will countries be forced to choose between them? And what happens to the billions of people whose livelihoods depend on a stable, open global trading system? These are not abstract questions. They are unfolding right now, in shipping ports, in government offices, in corporate boardrooms, and in the prices you pay every single day. The US-China trade war is more than an economic dispute. It is a defining contest of our era, a struggle over who sets the rules and who benefits from them. Two giants, one world, and a rivalry that is only just beginning. That is always the bigger picture. Thank you for watching.